Hello, Dandelion community. Oh my goodness, it is so good to be in company with you all again. And I am so excited to have an awesome individual with us today that I'm sure many of you all, if you don't know him, when you get through, you're going to say, oh yes, I've either seen him on TV, I've been to one of his concerts, I know somebody that's a part of the Memphis Jazz Workshop.
Okay.
Because he is all over this city and beyond. So I am going to introduce the one and only Steve Lee, everybody.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm going to tell a little bit about you, and then you fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Does that work?
Fair enough.
And I'm telling you all, community, this is just a snippet of who he is, and he's one of the most humble people that I've known and met. And it's a pleasure to be in your space.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Lee is the founder and artistic and executive director of a 501c3 nonprofit organization. He has an undergrad degree in jazz performance from City College University in New York City, a master's in education from Freed-Hardeman University. You also have an education sector, been in the education sector in Memphis since 2010, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 years of teaching for Shelby County Schools. So let's give it up for that. Give it up for teachers and educators, okay? You also worked at Stax for 5 years, and you're also 5 years as a fellow for the Memphis Music Initiative. You're the founder and executive director of the Memphis Jazz Workshop.
Yes, ma'am.
The Rhythm of Gospel Award is one of the acknowledgments and awards that you received.
Yes, award, yeah.
Nominated, listen y'all, first round Stellar Awards in 2013. Steinway, am I saying that correctly?
Yeah,
Steinway and Sons Top Music Teacher voted by Amro Music Store in 2018. The Eddie Award, Circle of Friends Music Symphony. A proclamation from Mayor Young, Jimmy Looseford Award, so many awards. You were nominated for the Kennedy Center Citizen Artist Fellowship. You're a CEO of MJWRadio.com.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's a member of Omega Sci-Fi.
Yes. That's so wrong.
Absolutely. And he's currently a part of Epsilon Phi chapter of Omega Sci-Fi. So I welcome you again, Mr. Stephen Lee.
Thanks. That was a great introduction.
Oh my gosh. It's a pleasure to do it.
Okay.
To be in this company with you. Well, I know some of the viewers are probably like, okay, social emotional intelligence and jazz. What in the world? You know?
Oh, man.
But I see the correlation.
It's a lot.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because, I mean, for me, it calms me. So, you know, I get up and practice, I try to practice daily, about an hour and a half or two. And what I'm trying to do, not just, just learn music, but trying to be at the piano relaxed. So it's like meditation for the first 2 hours of the day. And most musicians does this, especially ones who do this for a living, because you have to practice and you have to stay, you always learn things, so you have to take that time to just focus and dwell on music or whatever you're learning. And it takes a lot of concentration, and it's being relaxed. As a pianist, you have to be relaxed. Well, any musician, but mainly as a pianist, because you can't be tensed up when you're practicing. So you just have to be relaxed and not thinking about things and just being just focused. So that's just one thing. It's you teaching for kids. You teaching how to collaborate. You teaching how to manage their time. I mean, it's just a lot of life skills comes with just teaching music. You know, it's not just they're not just learning the instrument. They learning how to stay focused, how to deal with issues, how to perform, how to be on stage, being relaxed. So it just it comes from being, being a musician, but also learning life skills. I
Learning
know.
life
Just
skills.
keep saying that.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
that is powerful,
it is.
and I wonder if if people think about music in that way, jazz especially in that way. I know my favorite flower, the dandelion.
Okay.
And I think of that dandelion, and I look at music and jazz. This is like nature's symphony.
Mm-hmm.
The dandelion, all the cycles that it goes through.
Okay.
Then that seed goes out into the atmosphere and into the environment. And it is the most resilient flower.
Okay.
And I think about jazz in that way. The resiliency of jazz through the years.
Yeah, because it's so many different styles.
Yeah.
And it comes from the foundation of it comes from what they were. I hate to call them slaves. I call them captives.
Yeah.
So for them just communicate with each other. Well, actually before that, because Africans communicated through drums and stuff before they even came to this country. But we said in the late 1900s, when people was out, working the fields, whatever, how they would sing these field songs, whatever. Then the blues came along. Then you had swing music. You had bebop. Then you had the smooth, what they call West Coast jazz, which started in the late 50s. Then you had hard bop.
Yeah.
Then you have Miles Davis when he switched over and started doing this more fusion jazz. Then you have smooth jazz, gospel jazz. So it is like flower, but just so many different styles of this music. But it still comes back to just being able to improvise.
Absolutely.
That's
it.
Yeah.
How do we improvise?
Yeah.
When I think about that social emotional space, as we know, is about managing your emotions and how you deal with other people socially and emotionally in that space. It makes me think about how resilient we are as a people and how we've had to improvise.
Yes.
A lot.
Yep.
And I just see that powerful correlation of that. And with that, what is your thought? What are your thoughts about social emotional intelligence? What does that mean to you?
I think it means to manage your emotions, and it's like each week I'm learning how to do that because something is coming up. There's a performance, and you're getting all ready, prepared for it. But I remember, okay, so I did this a month ago, so I can't. It's not to get all stressed out about because it just, something different day, but you just had to do some a month ago, which there was just so much involved. So then when I think about that, it's like I'm more relaxed because I just did something like this. I just done 20 things like this.
Yeah, I seen you all over the TV.
Yeah, especially like interviews.
Yeah,
TV interviews.
Absolutely.
That can be stressful.
Absolutely.
So, but now it's not because I've done it so much. Now I know how to deal with my emotions. It's like, man, you just going. Like now I'm just talking.
Absolutely.
So I've learned a lot just doing interviews, TV, radio interviews. It's just if you just relax, you've done them. So
absolutely.
Now when I do them, it's not a big deal.
When especially when you're talking about something you love.
Yeah.
And I this is something that you can clearly tell that is your heart's passion.
That's all I've done.
And desire. And I've never known you to say no. Ladies and gentlemen, I reached out to Stephen probably about 4 years ago because I'm the type of person that if I want to do something, I think I can do it. And I said, I'm getting ready to take piano lessons. I'm going to take piano lessons. And I reached out to Steve and he said, well, my schedule is busy, but I'm going to work you in. But I ended up having some things to come up and I wasn't able to do it.
That's okay. It's okay.
But my nephew, who's a part of the
Memphis
Jazz Workshop, has become just an amazing musician under your teachings and guidance. But I want to know, what was your journey? What led you to this? What led you to jazz?
Oh, boy.
What moment or experience made you realize that, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and this is where I'm supposed to be?
Well, first I grew up in South Memphis.
Yeah.
Grew up playing in church. Played drums for Carver, and I had a great mentor, Arthur Smith, who I looked up to, and he was a teacher and a jazz musician. But I didn't take. So I think about Jaden, because he takes this serious. I did not take it serious till I got to college. So he's, way ahead than I was in the 11th grade. So after I, studied with left high school, I went to University of Knoxville. Studied with this guy named Donald Brown, a world-renowned jazz pianist. But I don't want to say a mistake. I was pledging Omega at 17. So when I got in the fraternity just took over. So that might be another conversation.
Yeah.
But I always kept practicing and studying under Donald. So after I left Knoxville, I moved to Las Vegas. Moved with my father, who I really didn't know. I get out there, he moves to another city. So I'm out there by myself. But luckily I had two cousins who was the pastor of the church I'm at now, Eric Lee, that I never met, that they was out there. He was a center for UNLV basketball, so they stayed, close to the strip. So stayed with them. Then I stayed with them for about maybe 3 or 4 months. Then I moved to Europe, Switzerland, Paris. I was performing. Moved back to the States. Moved to New York in 1996. Got to New York. Saw all these bad piano players. Then I realized I don't know jack. And that's when I started taking it serious, when I moved to New York. I had to, because
it was like the Mecca.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So,
and when I was there, I was, just hanging around the scene. I was go wait tables. And I would go to this with this jazz club, which is like a block over. And I would wait to, the guy gave me a key because I was there so much. I would wait till everybody leave. And I would practice 5 o'clock in the morning. And because I didn't have a piano on. So I knew I had to practice. So that's the only place I had to practice, was at this jazz club, in the bottom of this jazz club in New York City. And if you know New York City, it's in a basement.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's running around the room. Yes. But it didn't bother me. But I was scatterbrained. But at that moment, I just knew I needed to practice. So I did that for about 2 years. Then I started on cruise ships. I've been all through the Caribbean. Back in and out of New York, and then I became the musical director for Fred Price.
Okay.
That's where I got into faith teaching, speaking things into your life. Got married. I had a first daughter in 2005. Moved back to Memphis in 2009 with $200. Me, my wife, and my daughter. Then I started teaching. I got the job teaching at Levi. I did 3 years, which was like 30. It was coming back and teaching in the school system compared to what I experienced in school. Was night and day.
It's a different time, different
day.
And
back then you couldn't get no suspension. Your parents would come up there and they had that powder for you, so we didn't have the.
Can't do that now.
No, so when I get back to school system, they don't have these rules. So you have to, as a teacher, you have to not only teach a class, you have to learn how to manage that class too.
Absolutely.
So it's you're doing a lot. So and I did that for about 3 years. Then I started teaching at Stacks. I was at Stacks about 5 years. Then after that, I started. I asked a question. I was like, "What's a nonprofit?" I asked this guy named Deron Hall, "What's a nonprofit?" He said, "If you see a problem in the community that you want to start, just try to solve the problem." And the problem that I saw was, I felt that Memphis young people wasn't competing on a national level as kids that's come from other places that's going to New School, Juilliard, these elite schools. I felt that our students wasn't prepared for that. And I realized after being around a lot of friends of mine that lived in New York, and they was playing at a high level, 18, 19, they was coming from these performing arts schools. So they was learning, 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
Yeah.
So by the time they 18, 19, they sound like they 30, 40 years old. So I just wanted to bring that back to Memphis.
And you've done that.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
And I was told I couldn't do that.
Interesting.
Yep, I was told.
You were told.
Oh yeah.
That you weren't able
Yeah.
or could not start nonprofit school here in Memphis.
Yep.
For music.
Yes.
For jazz.
And have kids compete on a national level. Now, there's one thing to start a school, but having these young people go out and compete, win scholarships, compete. We had 4 kids do Lincoln Center last year. We had your nephew did Dave Brubeck camp. So they compete. So what I spoke into existence 7 years ago is happening now.
Now it has come to fruition.
Yeah.
So I hope you all heard that, community, because
that might was a lot too, but
somebody needed to hear that. Don't give up just because somebody tells you can't do a thing.
Right.
Stay the course.
Yep.
Stay focused. Stand your ground. Do your research.
Yeah.
And move forward. And now your school is one of the best in the land. I want you to talk to the community a little bit more about what the school offers, a little bit about the curriculum, how long you've been in existence, where you're located. Talk to, because there may be somebody that says, you know what, I see either my child or even myself, because you just don't do it for children.
Right. That's the thing. We're trying to get to the adults. So what we do, we select students all over the city, all the way from Collierville to Central, Black, White, Indian. And we put all these young people in a school. And we teach jazz theory. We teach jazz improvisation. We teach how to, it's called combo classes. But what they do in these combo classes, we divide about a group of 7 students. We divide them up, and what they learn in this combo section, they learn how to work together. They learn how to learn, all of them learn one song. They learn how to listen. And it's fun. It's more than a workshop, because what these young people now, they become friends. Yeah. Like Jada has all these kids in his group. Yeah. They're friends.
Yeah. You can tell. You can see that connection when they play. They got that energy, that synergy.
Yes.
When they're playing together. You shades on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They got that it factor, that mojo going. And it's a powerful thing.
Yeah, that group could be something really special comes out of Memphis.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to do so much before they all graduate. But that's what we do. In that group, we've had groups before them with that same energy. They become friends, and they sound like they, 20, 30 years old or more or older. Yeah. And all of them. And the thing is, the young people comes in. And I got it set up so they can see they need to look up to these students. And I want to say this: we're not trying to make people musicians. Because a lot of people think you're trying to make them jazz musicians. No, that's if they want to do. That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
But what we're trying to do is teach them how to be a part of something. A lot of kids nowadays, they going out. They become involved in games because they're trying to be part of something.
They want to belong.
Yeah. So that's we having these. We put these kids together. This is your home. This is it's fun. Because if they thought it wasn't fun, they wouldn't be coming.
And I love the diversity of your school as well. In regards to your curriculum, do you have, like you mentioned, team and cooperation? And do you see where they're able to learn emotional expression or self-regulation or gain even social skills from being a part of the group? Is that something that's organic or something that you built into your
that's
curriculum?
a good question. Because I don't think we build that in the curriculum. It just happened.
Yeah.
Kids learn from each other. Teachers, they're teaching the subject, but they go home and do the homework. They call each other. Hey, you listen to this Charlie Parker solo. Let's practice this together. So they kind of learning each other, and it wasn't designed. It just happened.
Yeah, organically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something when you have a space where people can trust.
Yeah.
And can be themselves.
Yep. And that's what these kids come in. There's no problems.
Yeah.
No, nothing. They just come in. They just for 5 hours because we do Saturday mornings from 8:30 to like 1 or 2, and they just they go to class. They do a theory class, do a master class. In master class is when we put all sectionals together. Like piano players come with me, drums will go with James' section, or so we got it kind of sectioned off like there. But they come rain. It can be rain outside.
They're hungry to learn, and they enjoy the camaraderie.
The parents tell me this is the first time they see their kids get up Saturday morning. They get up. They don't have to make them come.
Yeah.
They get the parents up. You're not gonna be there at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Come on, let's go.
Parents they like seeing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're going to get you to tell how parents can sign up before we close out our dialogue. But do you see jazz as a tool for community building?
In many ways. Not only just to listen to, because it's so common. And a lot of music nowadays, and I'm not bashing music, but what's we grew up listening to Frankie Beverly, who just passed away, and Luther, a person who can stand on the stage. He don't need 10 dancers behind him. He don't need his boys on stage jumping around with him.
He just stand there and say, woo, 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 woo. That's all he had to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So so when we have these concerts, first people are amazed to see these young people performing on this high level.
Yes.
And it brings out so many people in the community. And then you can tell they leave our performances, they are thrilled.
Yes.
They inspired. They just happy to see the music's good, and plus, but they just happy to see positive.
Absolutely.
And so it's just positive in the community. Just we need more positivity in the community and not so much negative things.
Absolutely.
So it really benefits the community in that way.
It is the vehicle for social change as well. With so much happening in our city, in our community, and we need to highlight more positive. You don't see Action News 5 say at the concerts, and we should.
Right.
We should be able to begin to promote, young people in that way, so that it can become a psychological view and vision, a new lens of how we view young people, because that is such a negative connotation that we've developed of our young people. But to see them in the light of growth and music and loving it and wanting to be there, and then the product that they deliver.
Yeah, and that plus a lot of young people never seen live music, live bands perform. Not even church, because that's most young, we probably grew up in church.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Kids nowadays, they're not going to church, so they're not even seeing, they're not sitting behind their favorite organ player, Jerry Jackson's or whoever it is, or they're not seeing that in church, so they're not seeing live performances. So when they do see it, they're like, wow, this is something new.
Yeah.
They want to be part of it, so they just figure out how. We did we went into what's this? This is juvenile detention with kids. I think last year, and we performed in front of these young people. And now the next step for them is sentences. Either you going back home or you finna do 5, 10, 20 years. Man, these kids loved it. They've never seen live music like that before.
Exposure.
That's where exposure. That's
what would you tell parents that may be listening, that may have a child who has an ear for music or maybe not been exposed to it? What do you encourage them to do to put them in front of opportunities to hear and to see?
That's good. Take them to more friendly performances, even if it's Memphis Jazz Workshop or if it's Stacks, or just let them see people their age, doing things that might interest them that they probably don't do or they probably don't think they can do. Yeah. So just the exposure, just bring them out, to more events. And there's a lot of kid-friendly things that kids can go to without the alcohol or whatever. Just, our performances, we have them, just bring them to a Memphis Jazz Workshop at the end of your concert. Yeah. And just bring your child and see how they act to a live performance.
Absolutely.
And
we're going to bring the Dandelion community out.
Please.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, seeing a kid playing an upright bass like this or playing piano.
Jamming.
Yeah. It's
jamming.
Not. You don't see it.
You don't. It's rare.
Yeah.
It is rare. Stephen, as we're talking about, young people and how we need to change the trajectory of how we view young people and your school and what we've seen with the youth. They want to know better. We assume that they don't, but they want to learn something new, right? Yeah. That exposure is that opportunity to highlight something different in their lives, to give them something to look forward to that they have been normally may not have been introduced to. When you think about, you shared your life journey, thank you for sharing that. You have been, your timeline is interesting to bring you to your now,
Yeah, because I said I'd never move back to Memphis.
Look at that. And you didn't move back.
I moved back.
And got a school.
Yes,
What are some other hurdles, when you think about the hurdles and the struggles that maybe you've experienced? What are some of the things that you see, though, that our young people are struggling with, or our educators, or our parents? What are some of those social, emotional hurdles? Because you're seeing all three. You're seeing the young people, you're seeing the educators, and you're seeing the parents. What are some of those social emotional hurdles that we need to be made aware of?
You know what I see with these young people nowadays, failure. They don't realize, I'll use practice as an example. I had this young lady just sit, she was really getting frustrated this past Saturday. And my daughter too, which is she's 14. The young people nowadays they don't really know how to deal with is the failure the right word?
It may be the fear of failure.
The fear, yeah.
And then when they fail, they give up.
They give up, but they just got to know it's another day. Just keep doing it, and it's really problem now, and this age is coming up now. Yeah, it's getting worse.
Do you think, because our generation, we didn't have the phones, we didn't have all the stuff, and it creates that competition, and I've got the perfectionism, and I've got to look like that person, or be like that person, or act like that person.
Yes, and even myself, even Facebook, you have to be careful how you. And I'm older than these young people, and sometimes you can just be discouraged because you saying, man, this person's doing this person's doing that, so I just should give up. And we older, so just imagine somebody 14, 15, 13, they're dealing with it. They just give up.
The pressure,
because they see these people that's doing this and that, making this money or whatever, and they would like to be like them or want to be like them. They don't see how they can, get there, but unless they meet a person, walk them and say, yes, you can be whatever you see this person on Facebook, your Facebook idol, whatever. But it's really getting worse. Yeah. and the communities nowadays. I think it is because of the social media and the phones.
That's playing a major part.
Yeah.
And I think the lack of models that they see too. You know, exemplifying social emotional calm and self-regulation. We're out of control. We're out of control as a nation. The world is out of control. The city, you know.
Yeah, people know how to deal with their emotions.
They don't.
We're
struggling. Struggling with bringing our chaos to calm. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to be on today to share how music, right, can help navigate some of the noise.
Yes, and it's in so many ways it can help. Like we started just being able to sit down and play a piece of music, just calms you. You sit down. If you're a beginner, you never played piano before, and you sit down just learning a C scale. It's just you relax, even though it's like, man, I gotta get this straight. Well, a couple things you're doing something positive, and you accomplish something, because once you can play this scale 1 octave, okay, now I gotta play a 2 octaves, so that's another challenge. Now I gotta play a 3 octaves, that's another challenge. Now I gotta play a 4 octaves, that's another challenge. So you see yourself building, and you facing well, not defeat. You challenge yourself, and you seeing the results of being focused and spending time on this one thing.
Absolutely.
So emotions, not psychology, it's just great.
It is. Yeah. It helps you to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. And it opens your mind, expands your thinking. You know, with that prefrontal cortex, you know, if we don't stimulate it and provide new experiences, we'll be stuck.
And that's what jazz does so much, because you're listening to people. You want to check out how Charlie Parker played. What was his sound? So I'm gonna learn some Charlie Parker. This improvisation. You learn so many different. You learn John Coltrane. You learn Herbie Hancock. You learn all these jazz greats, and you listen to their styles. Then you develop all that, and you put it in your style. Then that's what people hear. So it's a lot of listening. It's a lot of listening. It's a lot of transcribing, which is like listening to a transcription and learning, and that takes time.
It does.
You don't have to, our students don't have time getting in trouble. Be out in the street doing
and they're problem solving.
All the time.
You know, figuring things out.
All the time.
You know that research says that musicians have the highest social emotional IQ.
I heard that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They say, I'm gonna ask your wife when I see her. They say that musicians they're culturally aware, number one, that you all are more empathetic to emotions of others. Would you say that's true?
You know what? It's because in New York, when, it was a place called Smalls, and it was a jam session. You have the music, people in the front, it was like that right there was the stage and the music, but the back room was the hang for musicians. You would, all type of conversations, religion, politics, life, all these conversations was happening with different musicians. And the music happening out there. When people go play, they'll come back and they'll start, just having a conversation about culture. Just so much different things that you talked about. Different, and I'm talking about, Chinese, Jewish people, Africans, whoever the musician was. You just come back and you talking to them, and you learning their culture. You learning stuff about them.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that musicians are more open and vulnerable and keen to be able to share how they feel?
Because I think when you playing this music, you researching. For example, if you okay, we want to learn John steps, John Coltrane. Okay, when was he born? Probably in the 30s. When he was making Love Supreme and John stuff, what was happening in the 60s? The civil rights movement, all this other stuff, the assassinations, and all this other stuff was happening. So I think when you learning all this history from different musicians, and I hope I'm answering this question, you learning all this different information about musicians, and you learning what wars would happen. And I'm a history person in a way, and most musicians, they can tell you history. I don't know, I just learning so much music, researching music, researching the time when bebop was happening in the early 40s.
Yeah.
World War II was just starting. I don't know, we just have so much to talk about, because we relate in so many different ways when it comes to just learning this music. I think everything kind of bounced off, just studying the history of this music, and just studying just not the theory of it, but just, I don't know, I hope I'm answering that question, but
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Because I see these kids do it.
Yeah.
I see them sit around and have conversations, and I don't, because I'm old, I don't even get into it. I just sit back and listen to them. And the conversations they're having is about, a lot of positive stuff, nothing negative.
Absolutely. But they're able to open up where they probably weren't able to prior to having the experience of their jazz and music.
Being around people who think like them.
Yes.
That
to me is what we're lacking so greatly. Just that social interaction in a positive way with people that we can show up.
That is so lacking, right?
So, music is a powerful mechanism for us to change the direction that we're going with one another.
Yeah. And but the question is, this is so great, and hope the people, whoever listening, that they can maybe help sponsor and fund more opportunities for these young people in this city. We just did a performance with the Memphis Jokers.
Yes, I was there. I was getting ready to mention that. It was so powerful.
And we just let these kids just come up with that.
And it was right on the spot. Was it improv in that moment?
A lot of it was, but they did have some type of they had to come up with some type of formality of how to present it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was improv. And I was just saying to the young lady, I can't think of the name, who's over the organization. I said, you see what happens when you just let them just be free. And create.
Yes, create.
Yep.
Create.
And what about if you have more spots like this in Memphis, more community centers and stuff like that, though? These young people, when they get out of school, 2:30, 3 o'clock, they go and create and do positive things.
Yes.
They don't have time to be out getting in trouble.
They don't. So you all hear that, community. We've got to elevate our voices to the powers that be.
Yep.
Okay? That we've got to invest in the arts for our young people. To be at that event and see Hattie Lou and those young people and be at the collective and hear those voices and see them perform in that way.
Yeah.
And then to see the need. There's so many young people that they don't have a clue of what any of that looks like or sounds like.
Don't have a clue.
Other than what's on TikTok. So as you mentioned, Stephen, we've got to begin to raise the bar.
Yeah, right. Maybe have something. I mean, you spend all this money and to bring in whatever person into FedEx Forum. Why not bring in all these arts? Have a free event for the community, for the city of Memphis. Parents bring the kids, and just have these arts communities, these arts organizations present whatever it is. If it's
that might be something we need to do.
Yeah, and have a free event for the city, and have so parents can see the options that there's other things that the kid can be doing when they get out of school. You know.
Okay, that's on our list.
Well, I'm just
That's on the list to do. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Well, it's been just a great dialogue.
Oh, thank you.
Can you tell the listening audience how they can connect with you? Where will the Jazz Workshop be coming up in the next couple of weeks or the next month? And if someone's listening that may want to enroll their child, how would they go about doing that?
Well, a couple things. Visit our website, memphisjazzworkshop.org, Facebook page, Memphis Jazz Workshop, Instagram, Memphis Jazz Workshop. And, well, you can call me directly. 646-436-1882. That's 646-436-1882. And if you have a question about the organization, if you want to sign your child up, I will be the person to talk to. So just please reach out. But the students perform every first Saturday at the Brooks Museum. They will be performing at the Orange Mound Festival, which will be at a Young Actors Guild location, which is it's in Orange Mound. I think that's October 26th. But on our website, you can find information about upcoming events, memphisjazzworkshop.org. Yeah, and just research the organization. You can Google Memphis Jazz Workshop. A lot of information come up. Video, TV interviews. Just spend some time in Google memphisjazzworkshop.org. You will see a lot of information.
And he will return your calls.
Yeah.
He's not just giving out a number. He will get back with you.
Yeah. That's how I'm so passionate about parents reaching out to me. Because a lot of people wouldn't give out numbers, but
that shows your heart is.
Yeah, because I'm really trying to help a lot of these young people in this city.
Absolutely.
I'm seriously.
Yes.
Because I found my passion, and this just share my experience in music with these young people in the city. So that's what I'm here to do.
We need you. You're helping to reshape the next generation.
Well, thank you.
So we appreciate all that you do.
Well, opportunities like this is good too. Have your podcast to get information out. Absolutely. This is great.
Well, we thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, the Dandelion community. You heard Stephen Lee give his number to you, so there are no excuses. You can also go to the website that he shared, and I will also post it on my website. Ladies and gentlemen, Dandelion community, I need you all to subscribe. I need you all to connect. I need you all to follow me. Go to my website. And if you missed any past podcasts, check them out. You can go to YouTube, subscribe, follow, listen. And if anyone would like to sponsor, please reach out to me. I'm going to give my number. How about that? 901-734-9459. Thank you all for joining, and thank you, Stephen, for getting in the Know With Sto today and joining me on the Dandelion Dialogue.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
It was a pleasure.
Look forward to the next concert.
Okay.
You know I'll be there.
Yeah, you will.
I will. All right, y'all have a good one, and until we see each other again, Dandelion community, go and be amazing.
Thank you.